only one under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa.
Biafra, Merani, Onuzo ke Biafra, na Merani, Onuzo ke Biafra, Merani, Onuzo ke Biafra.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you once again to this amazing platform where we disseminate information that has to do with the restoration of independent state of Biafra. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this platform. This is Biafra Exodus Hard Talk TV, a platform that stands for the United States of Biafra, under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the supreme command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And today, under the leadership of Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, the Deputy Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, COS interim, I welcome all of you to this very platform. Happy New Year to everyone that is watching, wherever you are watching from. We are in a new year. And as we enter the new year, many people are asking questions and they say, what next? Where is the way to go? The way to go is simple. We are pursuing the recognition of the United States of Biafra and the restoration of Biafra fully on the ground. That is the phase where we are today. Every one of us must continue to give our contribution the best way we can. And remember, I urge you to like and share. Share to your neighbors, share to your family, share to everyone to key in and join us on this gospel. Do not be distracted. Regardless what you hear, regardless what you see, regardless the propaganda and blackmail that is flying from right, left, and center, do not get distracted. Be focused, because Biafra have been declared on the 29th of November 2024, and there is no going back. We are pursuing the recognition of Biafra.
I have a network link there. Dr. Damages, can you hear me? Dr. Damages?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Now, I can hear you. Okay, just 1 minute before we get into the second topic of discussion. I want you to... Do you think that our governors are efulefus and Igbo politicians? Do you agree with Show that they are efulefus?
Not all of them. There are many reasons why the things that are going on are going the way they are going. Some of them, they don't have the capability. They are not smart enough. So you don't expect anything to happen from their own end. Others are afraid. Others are compromised. So there are so many factors why they behave the way they behave. The issue is that the people of the Southeast, they've not put in pressure on these leaders, because they get paid. They spend the money on behalf of the people. All those governors, they collect money, resources. There are things they could be doing, they are not doing. And it's not today. It didn't start with the current crop of governors. We've been talking about this since 1999, that if the Southeastern governors, despite the restrictions by the nation, if they are dedicated people who had vision for the Southeast, they will be able to transform the Southeast. And that's what is needed. But we haven't been lucky.
One more thing, Rudolph. What do you think that the Southeasterners can do to reinvent the success of the First Republic? To change the change the current narrative?
The first thing they have to do, not just the Southeast, all the regions of the country, is to find a way. I know it's not easy. Find a way to make sure that the people who govern them are the people they elected, the people they gave their mandates. There is no reason why Imo State people would have why they just did nothing when the court system in Nigeria declared that man as the governor the first time. I don't understand why they did nothing. And this is something that we don't blame the people for. The people who were in the state assembly all moved to the governor's party. They were not elected in the governor's party. They all moved. The point is that the people must have a way to hold the people that are running their states accountable. If they can't do that, then it's hopeless. anywhere in the country.
Is there any possibility that that could change in the near future, like 5, 10, 15 years?
It's possible. It's possible. I think there's a sense of urgency now for even the people who are leading these states. Some of them don't sleep in the states. Some of them have so much security to be able to operate minimally in that state. People are getting angry. People are losing hope. Things are getting tougher. Nobody can predict. What Amechi was saying, he wasn't crazy. Okay. Nobody can predict what will happen. And it will eventually get to that point. People are exhausting the options they have.
Okay.
And once we get to the end, there will be reaction.
All right. Thanks very much, Dr. Damages. Now, KJ, you still have quite a lot to say. Please hold on to your lines of thought, You might have to say more during the wrap-up, during your concluding thoughts, because we need to get into the second topic of discussion, which is that the ruling APC is paying opposition leaders 50 million naira apiece to destabilize their political parties, and that's coming from former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Now, the All Progressives Congress, APC, has slammed former Vice President Atiku Abubakar over his explosive claim that President Bola Tinubu's administration bribed opposition parties with 50 million naira each to destabilize their leadership ahead of the 2027 elections. Now, Atiku made this shocking allegation during a National Democracy Conference in Abuja, warning that Nigeria's democracy was at risk if the current trajectory continued. He claimed to have personally spoken with opposition figures who admitted receiving the alleged bribes. However, the opposition parties, including the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Labour Party, LP, and the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, and Social Democratic Party, SDP, have outrightly denied the claim, dismissing it as baseless. Now, APC's National Publicity Secretary, Bala Ibrahim, accused Atiku of reckless politicking, demanding concrete evidence to back his claim. Until he provides proof who gave him the money, who received it, and for what purpose, his words remained empty rhetoric, said Ibrahim. APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Morka went further, ridiculing Atiku's claim as bogus and laughable, attributing it to his desperation amid PDP's internal collapse. The APC also hit back at the opposition figures, including Peter Obi and former Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai, for suggesting that the ruling party was orchestrating crisis within their ranks. Now, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll delve into that second topic of discussion. Please stay with us and don't go away.
Are you ready to connect with distinguished Nigerians around the world? The Diaspora Perspective is here to share the views of Nigerians in the diaspora on burning issues.
From the street of New York,
All right, then, welcome back and thanks for staying with us. And if you are just joining us, this is Diaspora Perspective Show on Voice of the People Television. Now, let me come to you, show that is in Kent. Kent, show, Atiku Abubakar has said that, look, the current president is paying opposition party leaders 50 million naira apiece, to help in destabilizing their own parties. Now, APC has also said, look, Atiku, do you have evidence to what you are saying? Labour Party reacted, LP reacted, even NMPP reacted. Everyone is asking Atiku for evidence. And I would like to ask you, in this kind of thing, which is more like graft, do they issue receipts? Is it possible that Atiku could have a receipt, of payments received in favor of what is alleging now? Can you help us understand what is going on? And do you even believe that there's a possibility that the current administration could go to the length of bribing opposition parties to help them destabilize their own parties? I would like you to factor in what is going on in all the major political parties. I mean, factions here and there and all of that. Does it look like there's an element of credibility in what Atiku is saying?
Right. Well, I would have loved to help you understand, but since I'm not involved, I cannot categorically tell you what is going on. But like you said, on a serious note, it looks like there's a deliberate attempt by I don't know who to destabilize all these parties. Because, I mean, if you look across all the major political opposition parties, there's an issue going on.
Exactly.
PDP is imploding. Shame on Nigerian police. I saw a video of the PDP BOT meeting or whatever they had during this week, and I saw a fight break out. People using their legs to breaking into doors, and there were like 4 or 5 police officers there, and they just stepped aside. The video is on the internet. They literally just moved away, pleading with people to be calm. And I'm thinking, so these are the same Nigerian police that harass young Nigerians who are not politicians on the road. And you can see people actually having a fight, and you couldn't stop them wearing your uniform. So, you see, I mean, PDP has imploded, completely imploded. Labour Party that seemed like, the one that was going to be viable. You see this and this other one, Arabambi or whatever their names are, they would do everything to make sure the party is not strong, is not united. They were going to court speaking against Peter Obi. Peter Obi gave the party life. He gave it visibility. Who was dealing, apart from is it Mimiko, Shegun Mimiko in Ondo State? Apart from that, who else knew anything about Labour Party? It was a party in obscurity until Peter Obi came, and he gave it life. He gave it, and you would think they would embrace Peter Obi and they will run with him and they would do everything. But you see these guys going to court saying that, Peter Obi should drop the case. He lost the election. They were very much against Peter Obi. And you start to wonder, why would a party be doing that? They should be not grateful, but they should be happy and work with Peter Obi and people like that. They say, you know what, we can be the major opposition party. We can knock PDP to the side, kick them to the curb, and become the real deal in terms of opposition. So you see that going on. You see SDP, you see all these things. So while Atiku would have more information than myself, obviously, I cannot for a fact say that people are paid 50 million naira, and that's 25,000 pounds. That's little.
Exactly the point. I was coming to that. I mean,
I would have thought it would be a bit more than that.
Money. I mean, which party leader will accept just 50 million naira to destabilize his own party?
That's 25. See, these people don't spend naira. Their bills are not in naira. These party leaders you're talking about, their houses, and they are big men. They won't use their house to do Airbnb in the US. They seem to have something for Atlanta and Texas and all these places. They won't use their houses for Airbnb, their mansions. So they would lock it up and be servicing the mortgage. It's in dollars. If they have something in the UK, it's serviced in pounds. So their children go to school in UK, US, Canada. Their bills are in pounds and dollars. So every naira they tell you that they've collected or allegedly collected, you have to convert it and think, is it worth it? 25,000 pounds. What's that going to do for them? So, Atiku might have his sources.
Yes.
He was the former, the former vice president. So he probably has sources that would tell him stuff. But it wouldn't surprise me if it is true.
Okay.
And who is going to arrest Atiku for this accusation? You see, I'm glad there's another Yoruba man in the studio and he would understand this. Yoruba will say, Iyaloma Jomotalika. Now, poor man Pikin go suffer. Atiku has said what he has said. Go and arrest him. Nobody's going to touch him. DSS now, they will wear, they will blindfold themselves and, they won't hear anything. They will pretend like they've not had this. Nobody's going to go and petition and say, go and arrest DSS, Atiku. But if now common man talk him now, they don't lock him up. Do you understand? So This is another thing with Nigeria that, the poor people just suffer for nothing. Anything you say, they'll carry you. So they should go and arrest Atiku. I'm waiting for that.
Okay, thanks very much. Sure, because the issue of 50 million naira, it puts some kind of question mark on that allegation. A lot of people are also asking, what is 50 million naira to a party leader? It's interesting that we also have somebody who is thinking in that direction. Now, let me come to you, Dr. Damages. Dr. Damages, unfortunately, the party of your state, APGA, All Progressives Grand Alliance, was not mentioned as one of those that received 50 million naira. What does it look like APGA doesn't have this kind of weight? Does it look like APGA is not doing much, at the national scene, to have deserved a mention, for the leader to have received 50 million naira? I'd also like you to understand that even in APGA, there's a tussle for who controls the soul of the party. So why was APGA not mentioned? Is there a possibility that you could let us into what happened, if you have an idea?
APGA, of course, is a one-state party. It's only in Anambra State that is actually an effective political party. And after Soludo, we are not sure that it will continue. So there's a reason why they didn't talk about APGA. It doesn't play a big. The point is this: I like when Sho talked about arrest of Atiku. I think it's very important that we underline that the fact that Atiku could put out something, an allegation like this, which if this were to have come from Showore, it would have been another issue to get him arrested, let him prove that this is true. But again, it might, when they talk about the party, it might leadership, it might not be the top guys. You know, I think someone like the guy in Labour Party, I think if you give him 15 million, that's money for him. It may not be for the PDP and for APC and
no, Dr. Damages, with all the money that was raised for Labour Party in the 2023 election, in excess of how much? In excess of 1 billion. Obi himself put in how much into Labour Party and all of that. Labour Party is a big party. And mind you, Labour Party is the party of the NLC. NLC happens to, you know, they have deep pockets. So why do you think that 50 million naira will mean much to...
Have you seen those people, how they look? I don't I don't think they look like...
50 million naira is a lot of money.
A lot of money in labor union. Anyway, the point is that I think why APGA is not a factor is that APGA has not succeeded even to spread to other states in the southeast.
All right.
Not to talk about national. And the people bringing the money, they are interested in national office. With Soludo also being in Anambra State, and we know that he has ambitions, national ambitions. It's not likely that the party will survive.
Exactly. I like that because you said it before. I would like for you to help us on that. Why do you think that APGA will not survive post-Soludo?
Because unless he transforms himself if he gets the second term, which is likely, most people are frustrated. Are now frustrated at how far the hope they placed on him, the mandate, how he has not lived up to their expectations.
Really?
And that means that they will move away from that political party.
Dr. Damage, when you talk about expectations, the feed I get from Anambra State is that a lot is going on there. You know, that there's so much construction work going on in Anambra State and the foundations are being laid, you know, dual carriageways and all of that. So what other expectations? Is it because you have not seen skyscrapers or what? No.
Things are going on just like they are going on in Enugu State, in Abia State. You know, things are going on, but there's one basic thing that he has not done. One is security.
Okay.
There's so much insecurity, and people in Anambra State, they are not used to that. When things are bad in the southeast, Anambra used to be the one that you see that there is a sense of control. But he allowed things to get so bad that people felt that he lost control. The other thing is that his approach to governance, it hasn't changed. His personality, people felt is aloof, not reaching out to people. And it shows in the approach to even policies that you might say they are good policies. So that's what he's dealing with. And I hope that he will be able to correct that before he leaves. Okay. Because if he doesn't, what it will mean, it's not just that APGA will be in trouble, but also that the educated people will not have any chance anymore in Anambra State because they don't want to hear about any professor anymore after Soludo's performance.
All right, and thanks very much, Dr. Damages. Now, let's go to KJ. KJ, I would like for you to help us understand how the Democrats and Republicans in the U.S., how they try to destroy the opposition party when they are in government. Is there any, away from Maryland, where you live, at the national level, is there some form of trying to destroy now that the GOP is in power, would they go to the extent of trying to ensure that, look, the Democrats, you know, don't come up in 2029 or something like that? Does it ever happen? Does it ever happen?
I've never witnessed one, but I know that, you know, that's what people refer as the uniparty. The uniparty is just people who are there to, do the bidding of those who are put in there. But the uniparty does not really necessarily belong to one party or the other. They belong to the establishment, who sometimes direct the affairs, what we call the cabal in Nigeria. But for people to be planted in one party and then begin to move and give money. Those things don't happen. It's so strange. Okay, $50,000. By the time you give it to somebody here, and you will not even reach your home, your house before the security forces will follow you, because monies are totally accounted for. It does not matter whether once you have money to that extent, it's accounted for. You can I don't know. Rudolph have been here before me, so I don't know if you have seen people going around with $50,000. About. I've never seen anybody such money. I don't have any friend who have that kind of money that they carry around.
Okay, what if it's a wire transfer? They just wire into your account. Telex.
That is even more dangerous, because once it's wired to your account, it is totally being monitored. You will explain. Every money you make, you must explain how it came. It doesn't fall from the sky. So somebody wires, as I'm sitting here, and somebody wires $50,000 to me, I will first go to the police and say, this is what I have done that brought this money to me. Or look, I just received $50,000. I don't know where it came from. Because you want to protect yourself. The system does not have a pity for anybody. If you break the law, you will face the consequence. So the best thing to do is to first of all protect yourself by saying, I don't know where this money is coming from. But in our own community, these things are carried in a boot. I remember one former government official used to carry 400,000, 400 million naira in his boot. Going around, a particular car following him was carrying only money. And at the end of the day, you ask yourself, these are the people's money. What are we using it to do? Now, coming back to the politics of bribery and corruption, it doesn't happen here. I don't know. Rudolph is a more senior man. Maybe he has seen friends who go around with money bribing what you do here is you form a pressure group that can put pressure on your legislators to do exactly what you want. I'll give an example. There was this confirmation hearing going on right now, and I know of a particular organization that published the names. They said to the people, look, we want Tosigabe to confirm. We want what's his name? The guy of the defense to be confirmed. We want the guy in the FBI to be confirmed. So call your legislators, call your Senate members. This is this thing. This is the reason why we're saying that. And people went to town. People went to those numbers and called them. I want you to vote in this direction. That's how the politics are played, and that's why it is participatory. You have the right to call your legislator, your senator, to say, this is the way I want you to vote concerning this. If you don't vote that way, you're not getting my vote the next time. And so these pressures are brought to them. But we see in our own country, the people play the back role. Once you get yourself there, you don't care about the people. You do whatever you like.
Unfortunately.
And I don't know.
No, I said that's quite unfortunate. Land on your thought.
The issue with, as an Igbo man, if I tell that I'm happy with Soludo, I'll be lying to you. I'm so disappointed, because before Soludo got there, I used to be one of those who really, really, really used to, talk so very highly about him. But looking at what he has done as a professor of economics, who is an advisor to many nations, many presidents, before he came to this position, you wonder. Even the local, Onitsha trader would have done better than what he's doing. Okay, so where has he been able to bring this so much knowledge that we praise him? And he's a great man. He has written so much great books. Okay. So somebody will say that if being a business lecturer is what makes you a millionaire, all the lecturers in the university would have millionaires. But the question is, you have an opportunity to do what you need to do. Show us before you leave that you can really make Anambra State the Dubai of Nigeria. Thank you.
And thanks very much, KJ. On the contrary, a lot of people, not on the contrary, but also a lot of people believe that, Chukwuma Soludo seems to be doing his best. Now, let's come back to the studio where we have Dr. K. Dr. K, straight off, do you think that there is the possibility of this country descending to a one-party state as quickly as you can?
There's no doubt about it. That is where we are tending to now. Even before we started this program, we were discussing behind the scene. And I said, if Nigerians refuse to hold themselves together now, it will be so serious in 2027. And the issue is this. The way things are going, look at the issue of Egbetoku. Look at the issue of the journalist that was arrested. Look at the issue in our petroleum industry. Look at the behavioral pattern our legislators are exhibiting. Even some so-called that are supposed to be respected governors. Look at the way they are behaving. So the way it is, it is only the people themselves that can come together and stop this country from turning into a party state. More importantly, rather than us building institutions, look at what Ozikeji was saying, that if you wire money to his account, you quickly go and report. Okay. Look at this. That is where institution works.
Okay.
Unlike here.
Doctor, pointedly, do you think that Nigeria can descend to a one-party state with what you see around, what you see going on?
Yes. We are tendentiously moving towards that.
Okay, maybe that's something that you and I have to talk about during the political voice any of these days. Week.
Yeah.
Because we need to move on to the last topic of discussion. Now, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, pulled in a staggering 21.6 trillion naira in 2024, and that's a 76% surge from 12.7 trillion in 2023, driven basically by aggressive non-oil taxation. Executive Chairman Zach Adedeji hailed this as a historic milestone, surpassing the initial 19.4 trillion naira target. At a 2025 strategic retreat in Abuja, Adedeji boasted of FIR's role in funding infrastructure and social services, positioning tax officials as agents of the nation. He also revealed an even more ambitious revenue target of 25.2 trillion naira for 2025, vowing to drive tax collection through enhanced technology, stricter enforcement, and expanded tax administration systems. While the government celebrates this cash windfall, questions remain. Is this economic progress or just heavier tax burdens or struggling Nigerians and businesses? As FIRS tightens its grip, who really benefits? Citizens or the political elite? Now, Dr. K, let me stay with you again. FIRS raked in 21.7 trillion naira revenue in 2024.